Space looks peaceful from down here on Earth, but the moment you leave our planet, it becomes one of the most dangerous places imaginable. One tiny failure, one wrong decision, and everything can end in seconds. Today, we're remembering the worst astronaut deaths in history. These are the real stories that still hurt to remember. Let's begin in January 1967 with Apollo 1. 3 experienced astronauts, Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee, climbed into the new command module for a routine test. The cabin was filled with pure oxygen. Then, a single electrical spark appeared under a seat. In pure oxygen, that tiny spark turned into a deadly inferno within seconds. They fought desperately to escape, but the hatch was sealed tight by pressure. All 3 brave men were gone in less than a minute. America was stunned. This tragedy forced NASA to completely redesign the spacecraft and safety procedures. Just 3 months later, tragedy struck the Soviet space program. Cosmonaut Vladimir Komarov was chosen to fly the new Soyuz 1 spacecraft. He knew the spacecraft had many serious technical problems, but the mission went ahead anyway. Right after launch, things started going wrong. Solar panels failed to deploy. The spacecraft became almost impossible to control. On re-entry, the main parachute became completely tangled. He fell from space and slammed into the ground at over 100 miles per hour. Only small pieces of the capsule were ever recovered. Vladimir Komarov became the first human to die during a space mission. 4 years later, in 1971, another heartbreaking tragedy occurred. 3 cosmonauts had just completed the world's first space station mission. They were excited to return home as heroes. Then, during re-entry, a small ventilation valve opened too early. The cabin lost all its air pressure in just seconds. They lost consciousness one by one and floated motionless in their seats. The capsule landed perfectly, but they were already gone. They had died in complete silence, 168 miles above the Earth. 15 years passed. Then came a disaster the whole world watched live. January 28, 1986. It was a freezing cold morning in Florida. 7 astronauts, including teacher Krista McAuliffe, boarded Space Shuttle Challenger. For the first 73 seconds, everything looked perfect. Then, a seal on the right booster failed because of the extreme cold. At 73 seconds, the shuttle exploded in a massive fireball. All 7 crew members were lost. 17 years later, in 2003, tragedy struck again. Space Shuttle Columbia was returning from a successful science mission. During launch, a large piece of foam insulation had broken off and struck the left wing. It created a hole in the heat shield. During re-entry, superheated air rushed into the hole and the wing began to break apart. The shuttle disintegrated over Texas. All 7 astronauts were lost. These 5 tragedies changed space travel forever. After each disaster, engineers and scientists learned painful but necessary lessons. They redesigned hatches, improved parachutes, added pressure suits, fixed booster seals, and strengthened heat shields. Every time we lost astronauts, we became better at protecting the ones who came after. But no safety system can ever remove every risk in space. These men and women knew the dangers, yet they still chose to go. They had families, dreams, and futures, just like us. Their courage pushed humanity further into the unknown. Which of these stories affected you the most? Was it the fire in Apollo 1, the silent death of Soyuz 11, or the explosions we all watched on television? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. If you want more powerful true history stories told in this Stickman style, please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell. It really helps the channel. Thank you for watching and remembering these brave astronauts with me. Never stop looking up at the stars. And never forget those who gave everything so we could reach them.